I'm Yankel, and today we're talking about salmon, but not just any salmon. This is wild-caught sockeye salmon from Bristol Bay, Alaska. It's really special stuff. They can only fish it 6 weeks out of the year, so supplies are limited. And let me tell you, this is a powerhouse of nutrition and flavor. So I'm gonna show you a really easy recipe, how to get that skin perfectly crispy, and we're gonna pair it with a refreshing salad and a Green Goddess style dressing. Let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is assemble our dressing because we want the flavors to come together while we put everything else in place. So what I'm gonna do is make my dressing in a jar, and then I can just screw the cap on. I don't need to clean anything up. So to start, for our Green Goddess dressing, in the bottom we're gonna go with a little sherry vinegar and some lemon juice. And then I add a splash of water just to make it a little bit more creamy. I'm making it with an immersion blender. If you don't have one, you can use a food processor or chop your herbs up real good and just mix it by hand. So we have tarragon, classic, some parsley, and fresh chives. Now on top of that, I'm putting Greek yogurt, and I add a little bit of sour cream because I just love the flavor of it. Of course, you can just use Greek yogurt. Works equally well. Get our sour cream in there. A little bit of salt and pepper. If you don't have one of these, they are invaluable for pureeing, making soups in the pot, making dressings in a bowl or a jar. So here we go, right into the bottom. Blend away. One of the benefits to blending a Green Goddess dressing is you really break up the herbs and everything turns green, which of course is where the name comes from. So it's key to do it in a blender or using this or a food processor rather than chopping. Here we have a beautiful Greek yogurt-based Green Goddess dressing. It's gonna be phenomenal with our veggies and really bring out the flavor of the salmon nicely. Next up, we're gonna put our vegetables together for the salad. I'm going with some really crispy vegetables. I want nice crunchy texture. It's gonna help match the crispy skin on the salmon and bring out the brightness of the dressing. So I've got a carrot. I'm just gonna peel the carrot, which is already peeled, but now I'm peeling it for the salad, right into my salad bowl. If you're gonna make the salad in advance, store your carrot ribbons in a bowl of ice water. It'll keep them really nice, fresh, crunchy, even help them curl up a little bit, which makes for a beautiful presentation. All right, that's plenty. Next ingredient we have is going to be radish. And I'm just gonna slice them medium thickness. I want a little bit of crunch. I don't want them to be paper thin. So I want the whiteness of the radish to add a little bit of color contrast to the salad. Next up, we've got Granny Smith apple. Super crisp, a little bit tart, which adds another really nice flavor element to our salad. Now, I'm gonna cut the apple into half moons, really thin slices. And the way I'm gonna do that neatly is by dragging my knife across the board just by the point. So it digs into the apple, and then I drag it backwards. That's plenty, right into our salad bowl. Now for the Bibb lettuce. Bibb lettuce, it's been around for about 150 years. You might know it as butter lettuce or Boston Bibb, named after a farmer named Bibb. Generally grown hydroponically, which means it's very clean and really crisp and stores nicely. And the thing about it is it's incredibly nutritious. So you're looking at vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, adding nutrition to our meal that already has this incredible wild sockeye salmon. I'm just gonna rip a couple of leaves off. We're gonna actually use that as a base for our ingredients. Veggies are ready, lettuce is ready, dressing is resting, time to sear our salmon. If you take a look at this beautiful sockeye salmon, I've cut one piece into a couple of smaller pieces. And first of all, you notice that red flesh, which is the result of the natural diet these salmon eat. But then we've got this beautiful skin on the back that we really want to take advantage of. So I'm gonna go into the pan with the skin down first. Just give it a little bit of season. Nice salty salmon skin is fantastic. Both sides. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to season the salmon, sear it, and we're gonna cook it from top down at the same time as we're crisping up the skin. So I'm gonna go start with a little bit of butter. I'm using a non-stick pan. You can use a regular pan, you can use steel, you can use cast iron. Non-stick just makes it so much easier. And you really get a nice sear because the skin crisps up pretty quickly. All right, once our butter is melted, we're going into the pan, skin side down. And here's the key to getting that really crispy skin. I'm gonna actually press down on the salmon, and you're gonna feel under your fingers the crackle of the skin as it makes contact with the pan. That's moisture leaving the skin, and that is really how it becomes that crispy, crackery texture. So I'm just gonna press down a little bit, make sure I have contact all the way around. You can hear that crackle. And I feel it bubbling under my fingers. All right, once we've got a nice sear happening, we're gonna start cooking the salmon from the top down. So I'm adding a little bit more butter. And I wanna incorporate some of the flavors that I put into the dressing. So I'm gonna add those herbs right into the butter. We've got parsley, tarragon, and chives. I've got a spoon ready. Now all I'm gonna do, in reverse so you can see it clearly, move my salmon to the top of the pan, let all that butter and herbs get to the bottom, and now I'm just gonna start spooning it over the salmon. So we're allowing the butter to cook the salmon from the top down. The reason we are cooking from the top down at the same time as searing the skin is we really don't want to overcook the fish, and sockeye salmon cooks extremely quickly. So here we can manage the heat on both sides of the fish at the same time. All right, that's perfect. I like my salmon on the medium rare side, so I'm ready to just flip that over. You can see we have that beautiful, flat, crisp skin right there. Turn off my heat. Cool side of the burner. We're gonna put our salad together while the salmon rests. Well, you know what they say, people eat with their eyes first, although everyone here is actually eating with their nose first. But we're gonna plate this up and make it look as beautiful as possible. The entire process took me less than 10 minutes to put together. This is literally the easiest first course or lunch or healthy dinner that you could put together. I'm gonna start with some dressing right down, and I like to do first courses as sharing plates, you know, force people to interact early on in the meal. So we're gonna put some dressing down on our tray, just kind of spread it around. Right on top of that, we're gonna put our salad greens. I'm gonna drizzle a little more on top. Now I'm gonna add some right to the bowl of the other ingredients, and we're gonna mix that up. Make sure everything's got a little bit of a coating of dressing on it. The smell of this green goddess dressing is phenomenal. And eating it with these crisp vegetables is just absolutely delicious. So we're gonna just spread those out somewhat neatly. I like to call it controlled chaos when you're plating salad. And right on top of that, we're gonna put our salmon. Well, there you have it. Our salad looks beautiful. It smells fragrant. The salmon looks incredible. It's gonna be absolutely delicious, and there's really no mystery to getting that perfectly crispy skin. A little bit of pressure on the salmon when you put it skin side down in a non-stick pan. Easy, 10 minutes, and you're ready to go. I'm Yankel. See you next time.